welcome to the Simpit. I'm Sean Cole, and today we are doing one of my absolute favorite things to do on the show, and that is doing an unboxing video. It's when I get my first look, my hands on something brand new, just like a kid, and I get very excited about these moments, and sometimes we learn things in the unboxing process that we didn't even know when we were reading the web page or listening to the marketing. So today we're here with the Simagic NeoX hub. And I'm really excited about this hub. I'm excited about hubs in general. I mean, there are a lot of purpose-built wheels, like full Formula One style wheels with displays and flashing lights and everything you need right there. And then there's the concept of the hub, a hub allowing you to pick and choose any wheel rim that you want to put on it, as long as it has the same compatible bolt pattern, which is usually 70 millimeter. Now, Simagic already has a hub in existence, the GT Pro, but it goes for about $399, at which point you have to kind of think, like, how expensive a wheel rim am I going to put on my $400 hub? It does already escalate the price a little bit, starting out at $400, but the beauty is the selection of any wheel rim you want. And for those who aren't going to do interchangeable wheels, you might actually switch wheel rims, maybe from season to season, not so much night to night or race to race. So we are going to be trying a few different options. I mean, like right here, I have one of the Simagic wheel rims. This will cost you $50, but in the kit here, we'll get to pricing in a second, you can actually get it a little, I think it's down to $30 as part of the kit, or essentially $30 off the whole package. So this is one wheel rim we're going to try out on this. Another wheel rim we're going to try out is just this very generic wheel rim that you'd find on like Craigslist or eBay or anything like that, Amazon, and probably set you back somewhere between $30 and $60 as well. And then the other option would always be going with something premium like a Momo wheel or a OMP or maybe even like an MPI. So let's get into the SimX hub. We also have the paddle shifter modules, because this whole thing is kind of modular. Not only are you adding a wheel, but you've got different paddle shifter combinations. You can go with no shifters. You can go single or double paddles. We're going to be going with doubles. And this is also going to be MagLink compatible. So as is, I can use it on any Simagic base, but to use it on any other base, all I have to use is that MagLink. So the hub itself is $199, or you can get it with the single paddle shifters for $239, or the double paddle shifters that we're going to be doing for $259. So a lot of different options. It even comes with different steering wheel options if you look at it from the Simagic website. All right, so let's see what we have inside of the box. Here's the opening side. Okay, opens from the bottom. That makes sense. Dun, dun, dun. You want to see first, or should I see first? I'll let you guys see first. I can't see it yet. There it is. I hope it doesn't fall out. How does it look? All right. Okay, inside, all right, we have some stickers and some hardware and some tools. We have a basic instruction manual. We have some clear Simagic stickers. Those are cool stickers. I like those stickers. Then over here we've got a cable, looks like maybe for updating or something perhaps. We've got a center hub cover, depending on what wheel rim you're using. And then we've got the NeoX hub itself. Let's pull this out. Let's get this out of the way. Let's get this box out of the way. All right, here it is. You can see that quick release on the bottom already. Dun, dun, dun. All right, so we've got this forged carbon casing, which looks really nice. I love the look of this forged carbon casing. I have two rotary knobs on the bottom. Good detents, good feeling, good pressure on those both ways. We've got some clear buttons, which I'm assuming are backlit buttons, and we've got the stickers to go over them. And I know you can change the colors on them, so that's extra cool. We've got these two rotaries down here, the inverted or vertical rotaries, as I like to call them. And then we've got two mini 7-way switches up top and a rev strip across there as well. All right, but like you can see, it's the case, the entire casing, the button layout and the encoder layout, and the ability, what does it say here on our warning sticker? It says, slight markings on surface are normal and indicative of factory testing. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and pull this off. All right, we've got a little serial plate in the middle. We've got our M6 threaded screws to bolt a wheel down to it. we flip it over on the back, we can see a few other things. All right, we've got the area where the shifter modules must mount up right here. We've got this back casing, which we've seen before, where this can come off and become the MagLink variation, which we might test that as well. And then we've got this cover here, where you've got your wireless connectivity. So as long as we're using a Simagic base, this is going to work wirelessly. If we use the MagLink, we can put this on any base as long as it has an NRG style 10 bearing quick release like this. All right, that is pretty nice. That's pretty cool looking right there. Should we take a look with a wheel rim? Look at that. Oh, I like the way the red matches. Almost like they're made to go together, just like that. Very cool. I like it. You know, this thing's hefty in a good way. I mean, it feels solid. It feels robust. The button clicks are very significant. I love the feeling and action on these buttons. You can probably hear them right there. The encoders are light. That's the thing. These always, when they do these, not encoders, these 7-ways, whether they're mini joysticks or little 7-ways, they're always a little fragile feeling because they're so small. Not like they're fragile like they're going to break, but they're just like kind of delicate to move around. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at these shifters now. All right, these are the dual paddle modules. There's also a single paddle available. All right, so we have an instruction manual and some padding. And then looks like we have a couple layers to go through. Looks like we have some different shifter paddle lever options. This is kind of cool. So we got a bunch of different ones there. And then we'll pull one of these guys out. Oh, look, they're real small. Aluminum body. You can feel the aluminum body on them. Looks like they're just going to replace these covers that they have on the back. Right there, you can see it fits nicely right there. And then the plug is probably inside of there. And then we've got a lever style on the bottom. So it's a spring resistance. And it would be good for like a throttle if you wanted to go without pedals. Like if you didn't have pedals or didn't have use of your legs, you could use this one as a throttle, the other for a brake. This would be good for a handbrake for rally scenarios. I like using it for look left and look right. A lot of different things you can do. And then our magnetic shifter action as well. All right, we're going to get those installed on there soon enough. And there's another one. And then we have some hardware. All right, pretty basic on that. We're going to need those. All right, well, it's time to put all this stuff together and see how it looks. All right, so in this bag, I have some hardware. Looks like I have some spacers so that we can lift the paddle shifters off of the tabs. And then we have some hardware that's going to go in here. Let's remove these covers. There's the bottom one. And I'll tilt this so you can see what we've got going on here. I'm going to put it down so I can manage it. All right, there we go. Okay, so there's 1-2 screws out of the back of the body. And that's the right cover. It even has a little R inside. All right. Right paddle shifter would be this one. So first things first, we're going to plug the plug in. Do I need to get a close-up of this? All right. There we go. And then let's make sure this wire gets in there nicely. Don't want to pinch it. Okay. Just make sure you don't pinch that wire when you do it. And the second one. All right. That one's tightened down. Snug that one down. All right. There we go. All right. There we've got one of them on. Come over to the other side. There's the other. And now we need this shifter. I never know which way these plugs go. My eyes aren't very good. Yeah, that's the way I thought. I just didn't. It's like a USB thing. Twist that cable up so it's not getting pinched. And then bolt it back down. I mean, pretty basic, pretty easy. You definitely have to snug these down on both sides or the thing will wobble. Okay. Now we have dual paddle shifters. Actually, we have quad paddle shifters. 2 paddle shifters, 2 levers. That's what a lot of setups are having nowadays. Okay. All right, so I did a little bit of quick cleanup work as we get towards the good part of this, where we're going to add the steering wheel and the paddle shifters themselves, or the paddles, I should say. And let's go ahead and get the steering wheel. I'm waiting on the paddles because I want to feel the shape of the rim before I make any firm decisions on which paddles will be best. So let's go ahead and get the steering wheel on. We have a couple things to consider here. Number one, they gave us the hardware, so we have the hardware to go into these M6 holes. And then we also have a center badge. So since I'm actually using a Simagic wheel, it's not such a big deal, but I actually think that it actually looks a little bit more proper with the badge on it. So I'm going to go ahead and go with that route. And now we're going to go ahead and just line this up over those holes and get these screws in. And we will almost have a ready-to-race wheel. Pretty close to it. I could probably race without the paddles. Let's see here. We'll get this one going. Get things kind of aligned. I'm not seeing. Go in your hole. There you go. Okay. There we go. Just get that down. We'll get this one in. There we go. There we go. 3, 4, 5, and number 6. All right, there we go. Now we have a steering wheel on our hub, and like I said, I could probably use these without any extensions on them, but we're going to go ahead and add those as well. So we have a few different options on these. You can see we have larger ones that are intended, I'm assuming, for the paddle shifters themselves, and then smaller ones that would probably be more fitting for the lower ones. And then if you notice, these large ones here are actually made of plastic, and they have a little bit of curvature to them. So there's a little bit of curvature and finger elegance, we'll call it, ergonomics. We've got these carbon fiber ones, which sure, they're going to be fancier, but they're very, very flat. And then we also have these little nubs, which remind me of the original Fanatic Club Sport wheel, which I always kind of liked. I kind of like these little nubs, actually, and not too much in your way. Like, these are going to be cool, but they're really large. Might even work better if you're just doing single paddles. The other thing we have is an extension. So if you want to stick them out wider, you can add this extension, and that goes on the end and pushes the paddles a little bit wider. And then we also, it came with spacers. So we have 2 different spacers that are going to be 3 different heights or distances that we can have it from the rim set back. So stock would be just right down on it. And then we could have 1 shim, or we could have the thicker shim and make the spacing even further. We're going to go ahead and just go direct. We have small hands. We don't need to put those too far away. And that's going to allow us to use these smaller screws. I'm going to go ahead and start off with these little nubs. What the hell? And then we actually have 3 different size screws to choose from. So if you're using the long spacer, you'll use the longer screw. If you're using the short spacer, you'll use the medium screw. And if you're going directly, you'll just use these little tiny guys here. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go directly onto it with this one. The big question would be, is this far enough out, or do we need to add those extensions to them, would be the big question. Boom. Cool. There we go. So yeah, maybe I would want those a little further out. Maybe we do want to try the extensions. Maybe we'll put the extension on this side in order to test it. So we could go ahead and take this, and we're going to put that right there with these little screws. Ah, shit. There we go. It's just hard to get them threaded at the start. Now we want the other little nubbin, like that. And now you can see the difference of with and without that extension. And I'm going to be honest with you, I like that extension. So we're going to go ahead and put it on the other side as well. All right, now we just need to put this onto the extension, just like we did the other one. I'm going all the way at the widest setting, using a fairly wide wheel rim here, I guess. Okay, now we have the wide spacing on both of the paddle shifters. I like that. I like that. All right, now for the lowers, we have two options here. We have these little aluminum nubs or these little carbon fiber nubs. They're pretty comparable in size and shape, really. I mean, but look, let's go ahead and go with the carbon. And we're going to point them down away from the other ones. And for this, is the screw long enough for those? Yes, it is. All right, so we're using the short screws all the way around because we're not using any spacers. I don't think we will need that distance, but it's a nice option for those who would. All right. Oh, I'm starting to get excited. We're getting very close to putting this on our rig and driving and seeing those backlit buttons all lit up, picking our colors, maybe put some stickers on them. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 concave screws that fit in the holes and grooves. And then we have some that are rounded top that are actually intended for this over the carbon or over the plate style. Okay, we now have a ready to go wheel. There's the backside with our paddles, paddle shifters, magnetic, our paddle levers, our aluminum quick release, our forged carbon fiber casing. Flip it around. We have our Simagic flat-bottomed round wheel. This would be good for like any, I could drive any race car in sim with this shaped wheel, by the way. Nice center badge, rev strip, backlit buttons. We got our 7-ways. We got our encoders, our vertical encoders. That right there is a lot of wheel for the money. I mean, we have the dual paddles. We've got the Alcantara leather rim. We've got the button box. We've got backlit buttons, the rev strip. That is a lot of wheel for the money right there. I can't wait to get this on the rig and see how it works. What do you think so far? So I'd love to see your comments below. If you enjoyed the unboxing, you know, this is just me having the fun. And all this is usually off camera, not covered during the review. Figured why not bring you guys in on some of the fun stuff. And this is the fun stuff for me. This is what it's all about. Getting new gear, putting it together. We'll get those labels on and customize it and make it even more ours. But this is as good as it gets in sim racing. So I hope you enjoyed the day with me. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you can find out when our next video comes out. And thank you for watching. This is the Simpit. I'm Sean Cole, and I'll see you on the track.